So, all right. So first, just as a recap, what we have done so far is basically select a niche, and we've been able to do that pretty easily. All we had to do was make a list of all the niches that came into my mind, all my passions, and we then decided which one was marketable and which one had enough audience to be a profitable niche. And I hope that you have decided your niche right now. If you haven't decided your niche, then well, go ahead and do that. Be honest to yourself. You are accountable for your success. All right, remember that you are accountable for your success. So if you are following along with me, there's a very high chance you'll have an email business with me. If it's profitable or not, only time will tell, because even I don't know. But that's our goal, right? To make a profitable email business. So follow along with me, and each day you'll keep making progress. And I'll come to how we make progress in just a bit. But yeah, so happy Sunday, by the way. It's a nice, lovely, sunny Sunday morning here, and it's also the 4th of July weekend. So all of you guys in the US, happy 4th of July weekend. There's going to be fireworks in a couple of days, so I'm actually looking forward to that. And okay, let's get on to it. So I hope you have selected your niche, and I also wanted to make sure, because I've been getting a lot of questions on people who have missed the live streams, so where you can get it. So I'll be covering that now. But before I cover that, I also want to tell you guys, hey, this is a public challenge, right? So make sure you're sharing this video. Make sure you're engaging in the comments. There's a like-minded community of people who are building their email businesses along with you. So use the comments box on the, I guess, on the right side of the video. Use the comments box, chat box, and then engage, discuss your things, and let's make it an engaging experience for everybody. Plus, share this video. If you find value from these live streams, make sure you're sharing these videos. And also, so today's 15-minute live stream, 15-minute sprint is going to be about selecting a domain name that's memorable, and I'll come to that, and also just setting it up on hosting and setting the basics up. But before we actually get into the setting up of domains and actually starting off with the 15-minute sprint, I want to discuss because yesterday I touched this topic of like setting goals. Now I want to give you a brief on some goal hacks. So there are a few ways in which you can hack your goal setting so that you achieve your success faster. All right. So first thing, set a big, hairy, audacious goal. It's called a BHAG, or a bag. So set up your bag and just print it. Once you've set it up, print it up and put it up somewhere where you can see every day. It's called goal visualization. So if you see your goal every day somewhere, even if it's like a big goal that it might take years to achieve, that's fine. That's fine. All right. So in my example, right, in my case, what I did was I set up a goal of training and empowering 300,000 entrepreneurs. All right. Now, when that will happen, I have no idea. But every single day, I move closer to that goal if I keep taking action. So once you've done that, the next step is to break down your goal into only the first. Don't overwhelm yourself. All right. Your big, hairy, audacious goal is set up to the side. The first thing is to create a chunk. What's your first chunk goal? All right. And it has to be something that takes a few days up to a month to achieve. So in our case, the first chunk here is to start a profitable email business. All right. So start a profitable email business that does $1,000 in profit. So that's the first big chunk. So once you have that down, you know that first big chunk that you have to achieve, that's your goal. That's your primary goal for that 1 month. And what you have to do is then break that little chunk into small pieces. So in my case, what I've done is, I wish I could show you in a way. Hold on, let me just see if I can turn this around. Can you see right here? All right, just look on this side of the screen, on the bottom left or right. You see these little notes, these colorful notes. So these are what I do to break down my little chunks into small pieces that can be done in 15-20 minutes. So I just use these little post-it notes. Just these little post-it notes. These are some. I know this is like a weird discussion to have right now, but you won't believe the amount of productivity, like the productivity of mine that is increased just by writing down these little chunks and keeping them pasted on the desk on the side. And then whenever I complete like a 15-20 minute task, I just scratch that off and throw that in the dustbin. So my dustbin is full of these little notes, but that will help you actually stay accountable and stay focused on what your next task is. So this is an interesting way in which you can actually achieve your goals. That being said, let's get on to the task at hand and start off the 15-minute sprint for today. And I'm going to just turn on my screen with cam, and then what we have to do is go to a countdown timer. All right, so we are going to set up a countdown timer of 15 minutes. And before we actually get into the countdown timer, I just want to make sure I have one thing covered. All right, so inside this section here, so if you miss the live stream, and if you want, if you miss some live streams in the future, just head over to flying-startonline.com, and here what I have done is every single day after the live stream, like on July 1st 2017, which was yesterday, just as the live stream finished, in a couple of hours, 2 to 5 hours after the live stream finishes, I actually write down a summary of what happened, including the video of that live stream, as well as a summary of all the notes we took. So if you miss any live stream, if you want to get a summary of what we have covered, just head over to flying-startonline.com and look at the latest post in there. You'll be able to see like day 1 of 30. So in a few hours, I'll be posting day 2 of 30. Also, if you're on YouTube, if you just head over to the Flying Start Online channel, which I hope you have subscribed. If you have not subscribed to the Flying Start Online, seriously, just hit that subscribe button. Subscribe right now. All right, this is very important, by the way. So here I've created a playlist, as you can see right here, this playlist. So let me just, yeah, so this playlist that you can see right here, this is what we have. And don't remind me. Okay, command 3. Okay, so this playlist right here, so this is what you need to see. If you click on this link, you'll be able to see all the previous live streams that have happened, so you can look back, and if you miss some points or if you want to refresh your memory, just have a look at these. Like this is the one that happened yesterday. When today's finishes, it will show up here, so just make sure you do that. And all right, that being said, let's head over to the countdown timer and start today's countdown timer. All right, so we have started with the session today. All right, so the first thing is to set up a domain name today. So for setting up a domain name, what's important to remember is that we have to make it memorable. It's something that people will remember, and I'll give you examples. So the first thing to remember is it's memorable. Second is that it's brandable. And the third thing is it needs to be, it can be 1 to 3 words. So don't make it too long. 1 to 3 words is fine. And the fourth thing to remember is that it's pronounceable. So even if like you just say that domain name, if you meet somebody in an elevator and you want to just tell them this is your website, they can just sign up for your email list or whatever. So it should be pronounceable. So if you have something that's like ABXYZYBW or something, then it's not really pronounceable, right? So for example, I launched a product called Profit Instruments several years ago. So that's called Profit Instruments. Pretty easy. It's memorable, it's brandable, it's 2 words, and it's pronounceable. Just take the example of Flying Start Online, right? So the examples were like Profit Instruments and Next up we have Flying Start Online. You see, all of these are pretty easy to remember and they are brandable as well. So flying-start-online.com, profitinstruments.com. My golden rule is just stay with .coms if available. If not, you can choose .co or .net. Don't go with .orgs because I have not really I don't find it fancy because you'll probably be promoting other products. So orgs, we just keep them for organizations, non-profits. So keeping that in mind, I'll just close this now. I'll head over to GoDaddy actually, and there we are going to start. Actually, just the training part wasted like 3-4 minutes of mine. Oops. All right, so you have to start looking for domain names, right? So yesterday we looked at massivelistgrowth.com, and that is available. We also looked at, I think, list. Which one was it? I think in the notes we mentioned it. Passive list. Even that is available. Now looking at passive list, it does seem like a nice domain name to have, but again, because it's not passive income, it's just a passive list, so it sounds like it's actually a passive list, and nobody wants to build a passive list. Everybody wants to build an active list. So if no active list is not there, and again, like massive list growth sounded okay to me, but it could be much more brandable. Like massive list growth seems a bit like markety and everything, so it needs to be a little bit more brandable than that. Super list. Right, so A for Apple, E for email. Whoa, E for email is available. I think I'll just note this down. Okay. Actually, I think I'm just going to buy this right now. Okay. Nothing to do. We just continue with no thanks, no thanks. I'm in GoDaddy, by the way, so that's what I'm going to use. It's showing. I'll just leave the contact information public. So all of this will be going into our expenditures. So I'll make a list of all the expenditures we have. All right. So now I have to enter my credit card details, right? So what I'll do is I'll quickly head over to just my screen so that sorry, my face, so that you don't see me putting in. Let me just make sure you cannot see me putting in my credit card information, because I've literally putting in all the numbers here. Okay, now I just have to, I'll be getting a one-time password and I'm just entering that. So domain name, don't make the domain name process too complicated. You don't really need to have a fancy. You're not creating the next Google. What you are doing is just creating the a brandable, memorable, and something that is easily pronounceable, right? So just make sure that that happens. Hold on. So my order went fine, but I don't see that domain name inside my account. I'm just thinking if somebody else took on that domain name before. Hold on. No, still says it's available. I'm just going to try purchasing it again. So I hope you're actually searching for your, while I do this process, you also keep searching for your domain names so that you get your next domain name. And by the time I'll be done with this, you should be able to finish up with your domain name selection process as well in whatever niche you're in. So just make sure that it's a little bit relevant to the niche you're in. So our niche is email marketing. So in our case, it makes sense to have a domain name that is related to email marketing. E for email, right? 804394. I'm just filling in the this one-time password of something. Now please go through. Okay, done. Order has been submitted and we have finished up the process. So I can now show you my screen again. All right. So I'll just click on visit my account and I'll go to manage all, GoDaddy, and here I have to search for E for email. All right, so I see e4email.com here. So the next step of the process is to set it up on hosting, right? So how much time is 6 minutes are left. So you have to set it up on hosting. For hosting setup, I recommend SiteGround. That's what I use for Flying Start Online. Now SiteGround, I've mentioned a link in the description in the below the live stream, so you can check that out. Now with SiteGround, the thing to remember is it's a shared hosting that I recommend. It's like $3-4 a month. If you already have a hosting like I already have my SiteGround account and I can add multiple domain names to that one account. So it makes sense because then you'll be able to add multiple domains and you don't have to register for hosting every single time you register a domain name. Plus shared hosting gives you like the cPanel and file manager and easy access to emails and everything, so it makes things a lot more simpler for you. So just try out SiteGround if you haven't already. If you already have hosting, just add that hosting to your account. So I'm already in my SiteGround account, and just to make sure, just to show you, it's like a simple shared hosting. As you can see, it's actually Flying Start Online that you can see right here. I'm just going to go to the cPanel, go to add-on domains and add the domain E for email. Now, I'm not going to add the hosting cost because it's something I'm already using. So I'm just going to add the domain cost to the expenditures list. Okay, I think I'll have to show you my face again because this generates a password and that makes things a lot more difficult. All right, so we have that done. So I can show you my screen now. So all I did was just go to add-on domains and just added that domain name to my hosting. Now I just need to make sure that the name servers are set up properly. So if I head over to my accounts, I should be able to see my name servers here somewhere. Where are you? Okay, so this is the name server. So I'm just going to copy this name server, go back to domain manager here in GoDaddy, click on manage DNS. And here I'm going to change the name servers. Use custom, add name server. It should be NS1 and NS2. NS1 and NS2. Okay, done. So I click on save and that is done. All right, so E for email, I've changed. It takes a little bit of time to actually propagate to the hosting, so I just want to make sure that this is set up. Now what I'll do is just as a precautionary measure, because setting up pages with WordPress is super simple and we'll need to set up some pages on e4email.com. We want to make sure we have a few minutes. So what we're going to do is just set up WordPress. We're just going to install WordPress on E4email. So I think they have an installer. I think WordPress installer. So I'll just click on that, and I just install it. Install now. HTTP is fine. e4email.com, e for email. You see how I just branded this with just E is small, F is capital 4 and E is small again. It's some site description, anything works. So I'll just hide this. Okay. Admin at e4email is fine. Install. That's it. So hopefully this should complete the installation process, and we still have a couple of minutes to boot. So I hope this is interesting here. So E for email. So it has been set up. I don't know if the DNS has been set up right now. Yep, it's already set up. So as you can see, the WordPress has been installed at e4email.com. My snazzy new site is up in like less than 15 minutes. So I just go to /wp-admin and then I enter my username and then I enter my password, which thankfully you cannot see right now. Okay, so E for email is set up. The next thing what we have to do is set up all these privacy policy and all these other pages. So I'm just going to install a plugin that sets it up automatically. How much time do we have left? We still have 1 minute 25 minutes left. So auto terms and privacy policy, I'll just install that now. Activate it. Okay, so this is done. So I just have to enter all the name of the company and everything. Company name, you can enter your name also. Sorry, 18. How much time do we have left? We still have like 17 seconds left. So I'm just going to copy this, paste this, save changes. So done. So E for email has been set up and we probably should have these pages created. So we are done with today's session here. So in today's session, we have basically finalized the domain name e4email.com. And next up, we have set it up on a hosting, shared hosting. I just used my earlier account that I already had. And we also, hold on, let me just took this. We also installed WordPress because WordPress is super easy to set up pages and all the other. In fact, you can actually set up landing pages and opt-in pages using WordPress also. We'll be getting into all of that in just the next few sessions. We will be using a few other tools. We will be using tools like Inbox Blueprint. Now, if you haven't checked out Inbox Blueprint, it's basically the business. It's basically the email business model that we are actually creating in this entire challenge. It was formulated by Anik Singhal. He's like my mentor, and you can check. I've mentioned the link in the description. He has a free workshop where you can check it out how that all works. So you can check that out. It's called inboxworkshop.com. It's my affiliate link, by the way. So you can go check that out. Register for the workshop. If you like the product, you can buy that. We'll be covering all of the inbox email business concepts throughout this challenge here. Now, for today, just as a summary, so domain traits are, it needs to be memorable, brandable, 1 to 3 words and pronounceable. Examples like Profit Instruments, Flying Start Online, and now eforemail.com. And for hosting, shared hosting works just fine. In some cases, you'll be using other tools to host your landing pages like Inbox Blueprint or ClickFunnels or Lead Pages. There are several other tools, so you can set them up on their hosting as well. But just as a basic setup, just make sure you have a normal shared hosting setup properly. And also there's one more thing that we'll need to add. We'll be creating an email address inside our cPanel. I'll be doing that tomorrow, because you'll need some sort of an email address, something like support or no reply or help at eforemail.com. So I'll be creating all of that tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. Hey, let me know in the comments in the chat section what you feel about this session. I hope you enjoyed this. In tomorrow's session, we're going to take this one step further and start building out all the other pages of the site and also set up our email address. So yeah, the business is coming together, E for email. I hope you follow along and set up your own domain name and your own hosting in your own niche. And yeah, I wish you again happy Sunday. Thank you so much for showing up on today's session, and definitely let me know in the comments below what you felt about today's session. Thank you.